since we're in the Olympic spirit, let's talk about the enhanced games. Now, if you don't know what the enhanced games are, they are like having some games, like the Olympics, but there's no doping rules. So the only rule is you've got to let them know what you are actually on so they can use it for scientific evidence. Now, sounds flippin' crazy, doesn't it? When you think about it. Okay, let's have an event where we can let everyone be on whatever they want to compete in the Olympic Games. Now, it sounds so foreign because I'm assuming all the athletes in the Olympics are who they say they are, like if they're males or if they're females. I'm sure that's the case. And I'm sure that none of the Chinese swimmers are on drugs. I'm sure it's the case. So I heard these guys talk on a Joe Rogan podcast, Dr. Aaron D'Souza and Christian Engelmeyer. Now, these guys are co-founders of the Enhanced Games. Now, when I heard them talk, it kind of started to make sense to me. I mean, why not have an event where, you know, if steroids are going to help you, go for it. If cocaine's going to help you, go for it. If marijuana's going to help you, go for it. If meth's going to help you, we can go for it. Like, we want to see the best that can possibly be offered. And I don't think any of those ones, maybe steroids, but I don't think the other ones. But when they talked about it, they were saying that 44% of all athletes have admitted to having a banned substance leading into the event. Now, whether that's the Olympic Games, the World Championships, or whatever they are, they all taper off to then compete. So they can then not have a banned substance in their system. So these guys thought, why don't we let them not taper off, let them do whatever they want to their own bodies to make them the most supreme, fittest athletes on the planet. Now, you think, you know, a lot of people are thinking, oh, if you take drugs, you're not going to be fit. That's not true. Lance Armstrong certainly figured it out, didn't he? And when he got busted in the end, it was the top 20 people also were busted at the same time because they were all doing it because that's what everyone did. Now, I heard their story, and as it unfolded, it was quite interesting to hear how they sat there and they went, well, when we looked at it, the average athlete that goes to the Olympic Games earns $30,000 a year. These guys are looking to pay athletes to, first of all, come to the event and pay on world record breaking. Now, they have put a number out. Every world record broken, a $1 million bonus goes to whoever breaks the world record. The two they mentioned is the 100-metre sprint and the 50-metre freestyle. If you break those world records, you get $1 million. In the podcast, they actually say, if you break any world record, you get $1 million. Now, that's quite remarkable. And when you really flip it on its head, would I watch that? Absolutely, I would watch that. And one of the other main reasons they were talking about is the cost to put on an Olympic Games is so outrageous because everyone tries to have everyone in the same spot. What these guys are saying is you don't necessarily all have to be in the same area when a competition is televised all around the world. So you could be in the Bahamas, you could be in Japan, you could be in Australia, competing in whichever your event is. Obviously, you know, if you're a swimmer in Australia, you probably couldn't be playing basketball. But when we have a look at their website, these guys have got a website, they look dead set, ridgy-dig. Now, they're talking about making it safer. They're using the science given where there's not people making up how they've tapered off to be qualified athletes. These guys are saying, use what you want, just make sure we document it as scientists, which I thought was great. So let's have a quick look at what is the sports that they're thinking about. So when I had a look at it, event plan, they want it safety. So these guys are saying that in the used in the right way, antibiotic, steroids, testosterone levels, all this stuff is actually quite safe. So why don't you let the athletes use whatever they want to be able to do that? It might be great for athletes that are maybe a bit far gone, that might want to improve their testosterone levels or, pump themselves up with some steroids. I got a few mates on the steroids and they seem to be looking great because it's helping them. They're feeling good about themselves and they want to use the enhancements that many athletes, and I could probably say that these countries are using drugs anyway, or they're using banned products. I mean, these guys can't even have like a Panadeine Fort. So you let them use whatever they want to perform. And this is the thing that really strikes me as amazing. It's privately funded. Now, I've said this before. Government money, taxpayers' money, it's our money. We need to make sure that it's been spent for the right ways, which we don't know anyway. But if we talk about privately funded, now, I'm all for private funding for events. Now, this is a great idea. This isn't money coming from the taxpayer's pocket to put on an event. These guys are putting on an event and they're looking to make sure that they grab, I'm pretty sure, the events with the most followings. That's what it really comes down to. But the 5 events that they've earmarked, which I haven't gone into exact detail, is athletics, aquatics, which is a picture of a swimmer here, gymnastics, combat sports, and strength. So I can imagine lots of weightlifting and, things like that. So these guys, they're looking to be out in the second half of 2025. They are in the process of negotiating host cities. And you say host cities because they are not looking to have everyone in the one spot. If possible, to keep costs down, they want to be able to use whatever stadiums, whatever swimming pools, whatever areas are available without blowing billions of dollars of taxpayers' money. So what do you actually think of that? Like the enhanced games. Like, I like the ring of it. Would I watch some jacked up guy trying to deadlift weights? Absolutely I would. Would I want to see some jacked up testosterone fighter fighting another one? Absolutely. But the thing I love about this, and this is the part, and I look what Live Golf has done, where the Saudis have picked up a boring event and made it into something unbelievable. Live Golf Tournament Adelaide is the number 1 Live Golf tournament in the world, and it is a great event. And that's what happens when you get into privately funded stuff. So these guys, they're saying they're reinventing sports, doing this in a safe manner in order to assess the high risks, given the athletes an informed picture of their health. We look to introduce mandated state-of-the-art pre-competition full system medical screening assessments, which will help monitor cardiac risk and other key health markers. Now, I'm pretty sure there's no way, you don't need to do any of that to get into the Olympics, but these guys are trying to say, hey, we understand you're going to have all this to enhance yourself, then so be it, you can do it. The thing I do like is paying the athletes. Now, they haven't exactly said what they're going to pay per athlete, but with the average of $30,000 for all those athletes per year, it'll be very interesting to see what they actually do. And paying like $1 million for a world record, I think that is unbelievable. They believe, so this is their other thing, performance enhancements. We believe that science and technology are fair advantages when used safely. A commitment is to create a transparent and scientifically guided environment where athletes can achieve their best performances under safe conditions by using select performance enhancements under clinical supervision. Now, I didn't quite get that in the podcast, but that statement sort of says maybe there are certain drugs that you'll be allowed to have for this, and maybe that might strike out meth. So if I then go look at the last part, the private funding, these guys are privately funded. Good on them. Would I watch this? Absolutely. More importantly, would you watch the enhanced games where every year you saw the most elite, enhanced individual that person can be? So there you have it, a little bit of information about the enhanced games. I'd love to see this get off the floor. Privately funded, good on you, do what you want. For me, seeing that most elite athlete, in my mind, I think they're all taking blockers and things to stop it, or they tape down to be able to qualify. Why don't you just let them be whatever they want to be the best athlete that they possibly can be? I think this is cool. I think this will start some sort of rivalry with the Olympics, or could it be the end of the Olympics? Let's hopefully make the end of the Olympics in 2033.